We're streaming live on Facebook and, of course, on the YouTube section, Nigeria Info. And, of course, you can drop your comments while watching. It's Dailies today, right here on the Morning Crossfire. I'm Kofi Bartels.
I'm Jimi Disu, and happy Easter to all. Today is Good Friday. Today is the day of Free John.
Oh, that Free John has a Brazilian origin. I did my research.
Yes, sir. All roads lead to Campus area.
Campus, wow.
Yes.
I heard originated from
about 12. The Free John should be ready.
I heard originated from Lagos Island in Brazil. There's a Lagos Island
I'm
in
not
Brazil.
sure if it's Brazil or Portuguese, but anyway.
But Brazil and Brazil is Portuguese.
Which is
colonies,
funny. Which is
so.
funny because my mom is one of the comes from that side of town. Why I never had, because I went to one time I went to Portugal. I went to a place called Porto. Now, if you had injected me and woke me up there, I thought I was in Lagos in the 60s.
Wow,
It was just like Balogun.
amazing.
Lagos is a Portuguese word anyway.
Yeah, you should go to Brazil if you've not been.
Yeah, my friend is there, but I don't think
You should go to Brazil. You'll be surprised. In fact, you shed tears. You see people who speak language you speak in who have.
Oh
traditions.
yes, my people are there.
Yes.
Yoruba people.
Yes. All right, and they're also in Ghana too. The Gans.
Who's that?
The Gans.
Gas.
Ga.
Oh, gas. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
they have your origin.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, let's get into the stories right here on the Morning Crossfire Daily today. We have carefully curated stories. Daily Trust Fest, Tinubu extends stay in Europe. Okay.
Okay, so the trust, which is published in the North, is the paper that represents Northern interests. Ironically, is the one that is breaking the news. This is like a breaking news because it's their front page lead. And the story says that President Bola Tinubu has extended his stay in Europe. And the trust reports that the development came amidst criticisms by the main opposition party and other opposition leaders who have questioned his absence from the country at a time when it is witnessing crisis in different parts. Okay, so it says that his trip has been extended. They have another rider, the president's trip, and he reminds us that on April 2nd, the president departed for France for what was described as his people as a walking visit. I don't know what a walking visit is in this instance because his workplace is in the presidency in Abuja. He didn't come to Lagos on a walking visit. When the president is going on a walking visit, to the best of my knowledge, that means that he's shifting base temporarily because there's some emphasis on where it's going. How he will go on a walking visit to another country, it's probably the first time I'm hearing this of any president, but there's always a first time anyway. And his people, Bayan Onuga, had said that he will use he's going on a retreat to appraise his administrator's midterm performance and assess, and is it assess or access key milestones? Whatever, assess, okay. And it said that he will also use the retreat to review the progress of ongoing reforms and engage in strategic planning ahead of his administration's second anniversary. My God. What a plot, like Majek would say. What a plot. They also wrote that this period of reflection will inform plans to deepen ongoing reforms and accelerate national development priorities in the coming year. And then something then happened. At some point, we were given an idea of what the presidency claims he is doing. And he said that this story is also in the trust part of it says, though the presidency had said President Tinubu was on a working visit officially, he was only reported, the only thing, and I think there was some photo ops there, he was only reported to have met with Trump's advisor over partnerships on economic and security issues. Trump is, of course, is not the president of France, he's the president of America. And so he is saying that our president, the president of Africa's #1 nation, left his base 2-3 weeks to have a meeting with some senior advisor on Africa. Come on. In giving some of the reasons that that you hear, some of the reasons that you hear from the media office of the president, I can almost say my idea and my view is that Mr. Bayo Onanuga and his team are bringing this country to ridicule. In all honesty, how can you say that the president left his base to go to France to meet a senior advisor on Africa, and that is part of what he's going to do? I mean, I've had to say this over and over again, that I don't get a sense that those who surround the president or his advisors and so on know what it actually is. The president's office is being completely demystified. It's been brought down to his knees completely in terms of trying to make a public perception of it. Let me unravel what I suspect is happening. First of all, we all know that the president has health challenges, which is not uncommon for someone of his age. Whether he's 73 or not is another thing entirely, but we do know that he's always had health challenges. So why not just come open and say the president has to see his doctor, and then let him hand over to the vice president? You know, look at the crisis we've been having in the past 3-4 days. We haven't actually heard our president. Some statements have been attributed to him, but we haven't heard our president, in his voice say this. And if it was just to go for reflection and whatever, isn't that crisis enough for him to have come back home? No, not even a country that has gone through the Yaradua crisis will you start this kind of thing again. Are we going to wait till we have another Dora Akunyili who will come and say, we've had enough of this? If this story is anything to go by and the stay has been extended, now that's a red flag for me. All my alarms are on. What is the state of the president's health? Whether he's there even if he's good, he can extend his stay for as long as he likes, really. But can he please just talk to us? Can he make a phone call to a studio or whatever? We would love to hear his voice. Why did he have to go from France to London? According to them, there is no proof to show that has been done. But I think at this point, anytime from now, we might be demanding that we want to know where exactly our president is and what is his state of health, so that our minds can be put at rest. Yesterday, it was said that the chief of staff was swearing in some committee, I think on census or so. I think I read that somewhere. Now I found that very, very odd. We have a vice president. The reason for having a vice president, in case people don't know, is just in case the president, for one reason or the other, is not up to doing his job. That's why you have a vice president. And since this is 2 years gone now, there hasn't been once. And I am one of those who believe that we must insist that these things be done. We can't allow our presidents turn the country into a personal enterprise where everything has to wait until the president can do the job. That's why we have a vice president. But this is going to open up a whole lot of things. The trust has so many riders to it. There's a story here by Nick Dazang, and it says that when the president leaves abroad, that is also there. The presidency says that President Tinubu will return after the Easter holidays. There's another story here that says that TND urges Tinubu return to. Some analysts is flaying the development, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. It is very, very worrying. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Yes, Mr. Kofi.
I was just.
Sorry, Mr. Bartels. I hate when people call me by my first name and say Mr. Jimi.
Yeah,
my name is Mr. Disu.
Yeah, I'm just looking for the memo where it was announced that the Ghanaian vice president will be seeking medical treatment abroad. You know, they've been criticism for that decision to take it outside the country. But for me, it was interesting to see that they told the citizens that she's going for.
In this current dispensation, the least of my worries is that he's gone for treatment abroad, because even in his private capacity, he's always been doing that. That is the least of the worries. Symbolically, it shouldn't be happening, but if somebody would come and tell me that, yes, he's gone for treatment abroad, then everybody's mind will be at rest. You understand what I'm saying? Whether he should go abroad or not, we can start to have that argument. But I find it worrying. I feel lost at sea that my leader, as far as I'm concerned, it appears, is nowhere to be found. Do you get what I'm saying? How am I sure that some of the orders that are emanating from there are actually from him? What is the proof? What is the proof? So, well, it's for Nigerians to of course, the opposition is up. Atiku has criticized it. Peter Obitu has said a few things, but I hope that the presidency will make sure that this gentleman is back on his seat by Tuesday or Wednesday next week.
You know, I mean, sir, I remember when Oshibajo had his surgery.
Yes.
Nigerians were informed. And
even when Buhari did have health problems, Nigerians were informed.
At some point, after I think public pressure.
We can have a conversation later on whether our president should be going abroad or not. But in the scheme of things, that's the least of it all. What we want to know is that where is our president?
That's the information I'm saying. That
where is our president?
Yeah, I'm not talking about even the medical aspect of it, but the information that tell people what you're doing.
If I were Bayo Ononuga, I'd tell, because see, this is how it happens, Kofi. Sometimes you do have some people who surround the president and couldn't be bothered with the niceties of whether whatever is being said, whether it looks good or not. As far as they're concerned, usually such people take advantage, okay, for their own selves. And they are the one who might be backing others right now. This is a job I would never have taken. Spokesperson in this country, I would never have taken. I remember at the back end what happened to Reuben Abati and the emergence of Okukwe. That's a story for another day.
It needs to be told.
Well, it's a story for another day. Because you won't be, they won't allow you to do your job professionally. These strong, very strong, powerful people would, as far as I'm concerned, they want to hold on to power and take advantage of when the man is.
Uncle Jimmy, is there a press corps at the villa? Because there is. Of course, we have someone there. Do they not travel with the president when he goes on his official trips? Because it's an official trip.
No, it's not an official trip.
No, it's not.
I don't think. Let's. I don't want to get
Uncle
involved.
Jimmy, it's a working visit. It's not a state visit, but it's a working visit.
Forget if it was an official visit, Bayo would be with them.
No. I'm not saying it's a state visit. It's a working visit.
If it is a working visit,
it's working.
Bayo Ononuga should be with them.
So why don't we have? That means it's not, because
there is no working visits, Kofi. Leave that one.
Okay.
There's no. What do you mean?
No, but they're insisting.
What? Okay.
You read it out here.
I read it out, yes, but what is a working visit? What? You are taking files to France? He wants to sit and reflect, like somebody said. Obudu Ranch is there. There's so many places you can even sit and reflect in your house.
I did some research when this thing first came out, and found a working visit is just the junior brother of a state visit. That's a state visit, but without the invitation of the president of the country you're visiting. That means you pay for yourself. You book your hotel.
A working visit, the president will leave his country. This is about the third week, and he will be doing a working visit.
That's the question. That's a $1 million question.
It's not on vacation. In fact, he could easily have covered this by going on vacation. But guess what? The politics of not handing over to Shetima wouldn't allow them to say that.
It's a vacation. All right, you said it all. You've just hit the nail on the head. Viral video: officers who received money from Chinese undergoing disciplinary procedure. Police.
I wish I could have a 30-minute audience with Mr. Ogbetokun. And the first question I'd love to ask him is that when you do finally leave the police force, what would you want people to say that was the most remarkable thing you did? Because at the rate at which he's going, he met the police force in distress, and he would jolly well leave it in distress. Where are we going to start from? Is it the number of policemen that follow socialites all over the country? 3, 4 following one socialite or the other? That indiscipline. I said one time, but I think somebody within the police force took note of it, and you have less of this camouflage thing. We now have a fair idea of what the police uniform is. I said that the lack of discipline in the police force even starts from the point where we are not sure what exactly is the formal uniform of the Nigerian police force. Some wear camouflage, some wear grey khaki, some wear black, some wear blue over black.
Brown khaki.
Some wear brown khaki. I mean, I tweeted to Mr. Adejobi and I said it publicly. He hasn't answered me. The level of indiscipline in the police force, the police needs a complete overhaul, which should start with providing welfare. You cannot discipline a man you have not provided welfare for. We in the country in itself, in the first instance, has not treated the police properly. Amongst all the forces, the army, the navy, whatever, how come it is only the police that looks scraggy? How come they are the ones that show that show less discipline? How come it is their barracks that you cannot even sight when you are driving past the road? Until we do this, things like this will happen. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, we had a video. Some Chinese people lined up our police and were handing money to them one by one.
Filming it.
And it was being filmed. And I hear from one lady in China that it has brought us to complete ridicule in the world. It's a shame. I would like to see, and an inspector general, to my mind, doesn't necessarily have to be a policeman, because the problem with the police cannot be solved by those who have gone through the rank and file of the police as it currently is. It needs some external intervention, somebody who can introduce reforms. Buhari tried and did that with the customs. Maybe it's time you got somebody from the outside. And when we now have the police, what's the body on top of the IG, we headed by a retired
Police Service Commission.
Police Service Commission.
Is
not ministry. Police Service Commission. That one is now headed by a retired IG. So where is the balance? That the police has a structure that cannot make it efficient. It needs some infusion of a new structure and a new set of discipline. Otherwise, you continue to have this. You will continue to have things like this. And it's sad because we tend to blame the policemen. People see them and say all kinds of things at them. But the way they were trained is what they met on ground. So that you find that year after year, decade after decade, you're producing the same set of people. And from within that set, you think you can start reforms. It's not going to work. Every policeman that we have, every new IG that we have, you always have a sentence that, it's only those who the Constitution allows that will have escorts. You have, there's a famous musician, he has two. He has in his house in Ijebu-Ode. He has in his house in Lagos. His wife too has a female one. What kind of nonsense is all this? In a country that is under policed. And these people are armed. Accountability, zero. So what you now have, now police have started fending for themselves by getting involved in civil matters. If you go and report somebody to the police, verily, I say unto you, you have opened up an opportunity. That person is going to rot in the police station unless he too knows somebody who is higher or he has more money.
Now they even buy the pickups, for the police, their own special, vans.
Yes, now.
All right, so let's go back to Vanguard. FG to clear 2 trillion naira or 4 trillion naira Genco debt. Targets 8,000 megawatts power generation by 2027 as Power Minister defends tariff hike. Denies favoring power firms against Nigerians. WhatsApp to cut off millions of Nigerians using old phones. And last one, Tinubu will return to Abuja after Easter holidays. Presidency.
Well, which one do you want me to review now?
Start from one by one. FG first, and then so I don't have to take the paper back again.
Okay. All right. I think it would be very nice if the federal government lives up to this claim. You see, it's one thing for the federal government to say we are going to do this. It's another thing for it to happen. Too many government agencies, which of course you remember, by the way, I haven't read anything to show that the Air Force disciplined its men that went on the rampage in Ikeja Electric. But that's another story entirely. But the debt profile of these Gencos, as far as with government whatever, is embarrassing to say the least. The Gencos are being owed 4 trillion. How are they supposed to survive? They're being owed 4 trillion, and the federal government has said, in their magnanimous whatever, have said that they're ready to clear 2 trillion of the 4 trillion debt. I think that they should call the Gencos and lay out a plan to clear the whole 4 trillion. Why should you clear half? It's a debt. It's a debt. And unfortunately, the Gencos don't have the muscle to insist on payment. See what happened to their staff at Ikeja Electric. But with an infusion of 2 trillion, I hope things will get at least slightly better. The other story here, of course, is that, and you need to listen to this. Listen carefully. Millions of old telephone users in Nigeria and across the world may soon find themselves caught up from WhatsApp platform. So depending on the phone that you have, you might suddenly discover that you can no longer engage in WhatsApp, because some of the old phones, because they can't be upgraded to certain levels, their technology might not be able to catch up with the modern technology that is being used in WhatsApp. For example, if you have an iPhone, if you have just gone to buy one small token, but you say won't get iPhone, you're going to buy iPhone 5, iPhone 6, and so on, that cannot be upgraded beyond iOS 12, then you will not be able to do WhatsApp on them. You will not. So if you plan to buy iPhone 6, iPhone whatever, I think from about iPhone 10 X, that's when you might be able to do that. Also, if you're a Samsung user and you have Samsung Galaxy S3, Note 2, S3, and S4 Mini, if you have Motorola, the list here is quite long. If you have HTC One, you have been using that phone since 19 I don't know what will happen. I think 3310 you can't. You remember the good old 3310?
That one is
gone.
No,
If you have LG Optimus, if you have Nexus 4, if you have Sony Xperia Z, SPT, and V. Anyway, what it means is that, look, if you've had your phone like forever, if you are not careful, you might not be able to do WhatsApp. So if you are setting out this morning to go and buy a Tokumbo phone in the Tokumbo market, think carefully before you do, or find somewhere to find out. Or you can even Google it and find out whether that particular phone would. Sorry,
sir.
Would do WhatsApp. Yes.
You know, all this is sounding like Millennium Bug. Remember, is it Millennium Bug they called it?
No,
when they said all computers by the year 2000 are going to go.
No, it's a marketing strategy. The whole idea is that the phone world, they want you to get rid of the old phones and buy new ones. And it's valid. I mean, it's a strategy. So what they do is, after some time, they make it difficult for certain phones, very old phones, to upgrade to accommodate the new system. So
I hope it won't be another, it won't be another thing that came out and realized it wasn't as serious as it. Because Y2K, everybody was afraid. Remember, Y2K compliant,
this one,
computers will not work again.
No, this one is quite straightforward. If you have certain kinds of old phones that can no longer be upgraded. So apparently, one thing we need to digest within us is that your phone has a shelf life. Okay, there's a limit. So maybe even the phone you have now, after about 10 years, you won't be able to. And it might not just be WhatsApp alone. It could be other functions that you want to carry out. So that, yes.
All right. Did you discard your computer in 1999?
You said what?
Did you discard your computer in 1999?
I can't remember.
So everybody was scared. Y2K bug, Y2K bug.
I'm a gadget freak, so every 2 years, I'm buying something or the other.
Okay, let's move to the next paper. Still the Vanguard, actually. NBA slams Rivers administrator for disregard of rule of law as Rep Vatlad insists on return of 300 million naira gift. I think this should be probably the Rivers State NBA.
This is the Rivers State NBA. You know what we were talking about. The argument is still on of whether the 300 million should be returned or not. Indeed, there's a story here. It says the national president of Vatlad, Mr. Emmanuel Igbini, has said that the NBA accounts should be frozen until they return the 300 million to Rivers State. Even there was a senior advocate of Nigeria, I think it was Ebunade Boruwa. I'd like to be corrected. If I'm wrong, I apologize to him. But I think I read something credited to him that he believes the NBA should return the money. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a conversation with my good friend Candy Johnson, and this is going to be in the forefront. He's one of the top lawyers that I respect his view, and so we'll look at both the legal and the social implications of this. It sounds quite simple, but if care is not taken, it could bring one of the bodies into disrepute. I want to be an arbiter for now. I'm not going to take. Look, Kofi, number one, that money is gone. In terms of physically, it's gone into logistics. It's gone into various logistics here and there. That's the baseline we need to operate.
Logistics where in Enugu State?
Yeah, because
at detriment of River State.
What is the detriment? The NBA doesn't want to have it in River State because of the political situation there, and they are using it as a sign of protest on behalf of the country. So, in that sense, I support them.
But the government is saying this money was meant to be spent in Port Harcourt.
There was a donation
to boost the economy.
It didn't say it was meant to be spent to boost any economy. If everything had been going on the way it should have been going on, this crisis wouldn't have been. But why did you remove the governor?
Put your money where your mouth is. In protest, you're protesting, which is good. You're protesting. Also, return the money in protest.
You can't return money. Who returns money?
Listen, I don't want anything to do. You should take your money back.
Let it be on record. I'm siding the NBA. I'm siding the NBA.
That's a partial protest.
I'm ready to go down with that.
That's a partial protest. I don't want you again. A man
listen, jokes apart. I want to support the NBA in the point they are making.
Good.
No, wait. I want to support them in the point they are making. As far as the money is concerned, they're probably not in a position to return the money.
You're not getting. The point is valid.
And they might still go back to Port Harcourt next year.
I support the NBA in the point they are making, sir. But I'm saying make that point fully by returning the money.
I mean, the money is gone.
Gone where? Their members pay dues. Their members pay. They pay dues.
Do you know what it? I've been involved.
They make a lot of money from.
I've been involved in organizing an NBA conference before. You don't want to know the kind of expenses that I've taken.
So lawyers are not happy that they paid dues and then they have to buy conference bags. buy conference materials.
I'm not a lawyer. Please don't involve
So
me.
they should return the money to River State. Let's use
Which
it for
lawyer told
for Port Harcourt Carnival.
Name the lawyer who told you that he's not happy.
I can give the names. I should name it on there. I won't fall into your trap.
The #1 talk station of Lagos.
Join the conversation online or on the go.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.